So first things first, we have the GoPro 12 here with the standard video, same video we've seen on all the other GoPros, and nothing really special, but just this is kind of the control to see what you get. You know, harsh lighting right now, lighting kind of at like 45 degrees, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, me walking around, and kind of some different angles here. So now let's switch to the HDR. Okay, so now we're using the new HDR mode. I put that in quotes because it's not a real HDR codec, but it is doing some combining overexposed and underexposed frames in order to hopefully create a better, you know, less blown out image. You know, hopefully you can see a little more detail here in the shadows over here and a little less blown out on this side of my face maybe as I walk around here. Hopefully my face isn't as blown out now, full sunlight, but sometimes I do notice with the HDR kind of profiles, you do get this kind of weird tone mapping thing that kind of occurs, so watch out for that. Okay, here, and the final one we have testing out is the log profile on the GoPro 12 here. This, as you can notice, first I'm going to have it like unprocessed, not color corrected, so it's going to look very flat, and that's kind of the point of it, because just like this, boom, you can actually do a lot more post-processing in your editing software. Basically, you can, you know, tweak it with the colors, tweak it with, you know, decrease the highlights, increase the highlights. Gives you a lot more to edit with. All the pros will probably be shooting in this, not necessarily because they need it, but because they want to feel professional. But it does also help give you a little bit more room to play with if you underexpose, overexpose, mess up the color, etc. So that's it with these 3 color profiles. Let's now get back to some more side-by-side footage. Ooh, it's a beautiful view out here in the Colorado Rockies. Alright, so that is it for today's video, comparing the standard HDR, in quotes, and log profiles on the new GoPro Hero 12. Before we end, this is just kind of like a low light shot here. It's about evening as I'm walking around. Less, you know, contrasty, but a good example of what the different modes do. Here we of course have the standard mode right here. You've kind of seen what it does here. So I'll switch to the fake HDR mode. You probably don't see too much of a difference because there's not really a lot of contrast in this scene. Like the sun's almost set, and you know, the darkest part of the frame over here to maybe the lightest part of frame, like the sky, is not that big of a contrast. So yeah, this just kind of shows that you don't really need to use HDR mode once the sun goes down or on a cloudy day or something like that. But hey, just testing it out just to see maybe that is the look you're going for. And then finally, of course, we do have the log profile, of course, first unedited, so it's just flat, no, you know, contrast added, no extra color saturation and stuff. And then now, boom, here's where I kind of edited it to look better to my eye.
It might not look better to you, hey, personal preference a little bit, but this is, yeah, kind of what you do a little bit more with the log profile, of tweaking it in post in your editing software, Final Cut, Adobe, DaVinci, whatever you use, to make it hopefully look better than you could get with the HDR or standard profile. But that is it for today's video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did find the video helpful. And if you are still watching, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, doing something like that down below so YouTube knows that, you know, I'm trying to help you out and it was a helpful video, and they might recommend it to other people who are looking for a similar video. But that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.